And this is part 51. Henry VIII, second wife of King Henry VIII. We already said King Charles. Why is R, Bob Taft, and this list goes, I can scroll this, it'll take a minute to scroll. That's how many people are on this list. You got the Duchess of York, Prince Harry, Prince Williams, Prince Diana, King Charles, his wife Camilla Bowles, Queen Elizabeth, Sir Winston Churchill. See how see, this guy is a mega royal, okay? He's a mega royal. Let's see who he's related to, though, because it's not a monarchy over here, right? How about to George Bush? We're going to always compare everyone to George Bush. Look at this. He's got a direct line. John Wilkes Booth is George H.W. Bush's great-grandfather. Literally a direct line. Here's the thing. If you want, I'll pause it, and you can. If you want to pause and look at the names, straight down to George H.W. Bush, straight down to him. And not only that, is he his grandfather, but both of them, these people, right, John Wilkes Booth and George H.W. Bush, Booth, he has 4 of the 7 kings that he's a direct line. He's a grandchild, right? And the other 3, he's a cousin. And George Bush has 5 of the kings where so they share at least 4 kings, right, that are direct bloodlines. They're grandfathers, you know what I mean? And then the other kings, they share because they're all cousins to them. Okay, well, what about FDR and John Wilkes Booth, who's nobody, but he seems to have this royal blood. And he also, look, direct bloodline to FDR. I'll pause it if you want to read any of them or look at it, do your own research. Yeah, direct. And FDR is a mega royal, so he goes back to the 5 kings as direct bloodlines, and the other ones he's a cousin, but they're sharing. It's like, come on, man, this ain't a monarchy. Sure looks like a monarchy. How about the guy who shot? Remember, our last couple videos was about Aaron Burr and how he murdered Alexander Hamilton. It even says it right here, killed Alexander Hamilton. And John Wilkes Booth killed Abraham Lincoln. So, I mean, these are 2 political assassins. And how are they related? Not only do they share, the kings, the 7 kings, as either direct descendants or cousins, right? They share all them. They share this guy too, Aubrey de Vere, right? Because they're 13th cousins, 8 times removed. But you can see it's just 2 lines. They're cousins. Don't let that number 13 confuse you and think like they're 13 things away from being cousins. No. See, these are brothers or sisters or whatever they are, and then you got 1 cousin, 2nd cousins, 3rd cousins. They're basically the same line. A 1st cousin and a 2nd cousin is the same thing. Only difference is this is 1 generation away, and this is 1 generation away, and this is 2 generations away. That's all it means. It's the same line. That's how much they're. Okay, but how about George Washington? Oh. Again, and look at the note. And keep in mind, all these are always just 1 straight line down to each of them. It's not like it's some freaky thing or whatever. I know it's a 10th cousin. Sounds like weird. But it's not about that. It's about it's not about them being cousins. It's about them having a direct line. As, father to son, father to son, father to son. Not cousins, not some. It's about direct bloodlines. And they both have direct bloodlines through this. I want you to notice the names, Sir Roger de Quincy and Helen of Galloway, right? And that was George Washington. We'll do all the presidents. That was the first president. This is the first Secretary of Treasury, Alexander Hamilton. If you remember, Aaron Burr is the guy who killed Alexander Hamilton. And yet they all have this grandfather, Sir Roger de Quincy and Helen of Galloway. Wow, what a coincidence. that the assassins all are related to each other, having the same grandparents, and the victims of the assassins also share everyone shares the same royal bloodline back to these 7 kings, but it's not a monarchy. How about the 3rd U.S. president and the signer of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson? What's his relationship with John Wilkes Booth? Again, they share this. Not only do they share kings, 4 kings as direct, grandfathers, and 3 kings that are cousins to them that were like 1,000 years ago, the first kings of everyone. Not only do they share those grandparents, but also Sir Roger, this guy's a node. Sir Roger de Quincey and Helen of Galloway. That is a node. Everyone, you got to go through that if you're going to be royal. You can't just go to have a bloodline going to Charlemagne and you're something. No, you got to go through these nodes. Okay? Again, Sir Roger de Quincey, Helen of Galloway. And who is this? The 4th president. Well, we did the 1st president, the 3rd president, the 4th president, the 1st Secretary of Treasury. We're doing the whole freaking government. That's everyone that started our government. They all have the same grandparent named Sir Roger de Quincey and Helen of Galloway. And not only that, their bloodlines directly go back to these 7 kings. But it's not a monarchy. How about Grover Cleveland? Let's go in the middle of something. He's 22nd and 24th president. Again, Sir Roger de Quincey, Helen of Galloway. Grover Cleveland's a mega whatever, so he goes back to like 5 kings, and the other ones are cousins, just like John Booth. He goes back to 4 kings, and the rest are cousins, but they all go back to the same 7 kings. How about Alexander? Oh wait, we already did him. Again, it was the same, Sir Roger de Quincey and Helen of Galloway. How about Zachary Taylor, the 12th president? Again, Sir Roger de Quincey, Helen of Galloway. They are cousins. They're directly, not only that, again, they got the 7 kings that their bloodlines go back to. How about the 9th president, William Henry Harrison? Again, Sir Roger de Quincey, Helen of Galloway. And then this line goes up to, the 4 kings and 7 kings. It's not a monarchy though. All right. Well, how about Jane? Let's do another first lady. First lady of President Franklin Pierce, Jane Pierce. Okay. Even in a monarchy, the wives and the husbands, the kings and the queens, they are related. They all have the same bloodline. And that's happening in the United States, but it's not a monarchy. Sir Roger de Quincey and Helen of Galloway. I could sit here showing you hundreds of examples, but I can't do that on the videos. I can't just show you everything. But let me tell you, this is a node, okay? And it's all about these, not just a royal bloodline. It's a specific bloodline that goes through specific people. And then they end up with these specific kings, the 7 crowns, the 7 kings. And the more direct, you got to have a direct line to these kings, right? You can't just be you can be cousins too. But if you want to be something, you're going to be a lower royal if you're just cousins to all these kings. You're going to be a mid-royal the more direct lines you have to these kings. And once you have 5 of the 7, you're a mega royal at that point, okay? And if you have all 7, you're a direct descendant of all 7. That's probably who the king of the United States is, because I haven't found anyone yet who went back through all 7, okay? Not all 7. 5 is usually a mega, mega or whatever. I haven't seen anyone go past 5, I don't think. But again, they could all be going back, because they're all so interbred that they're cousins 100 different ways, you know what I mean? And so that can be confusing but they could also have a direct line to these kings, and I just haven't found it yet, you know what I mean? Just like I used to think how the lower royals were just cousins. Now I realize, no, you got to at least have one direct line back to one of these 7 kings. You can't just be cousins all the way back, you know what I mean? Well, so far we went over Aaron Burr and John Wilkes Booth. The next one is going to be Lee Harvey Oswald. I want to show you how Aaron Remember, there's 7 kings, right? 7 crowns, and 12 Magna Carters, and etc., etc. But here's 2 of the 7 kings. He's a great descendant to them, a great grandson. Then you got Charles V. There is no Mary Stuart, right? But you see all the whatever's Bill Gates and Nancy Reagan and all of them. Here's, look, Queen Elizabeth, Henry VIII, Princess Diana, all the, you know, Prince William, Prince Harry, and there is Charles V. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, Queen Elizabeth II. Oh, there's Mary Stuart. They do have Mary Stuart on here. Okay, so you got 8 Magna Carta signers, 18 signers of the Declaration of Independence, 6 signers of the Constitution. He's cousins with 2 of the 7 kings, and he's a direct descendant to 2 of the kings. Then John Wilkes Booth. John Wilkes Booth. Remember, he's actually has more of a, because he's got all the 12 Magna Cartas. I didn't add up the Independence and Constitution signers, but they're just as many as Aaron Burr. Then of course you got these 2 kings, 2 of the 7. Of course they lead to 2 more kings, so they got 4 out of 7 of the main kings, right? 4 out of 7, and the other 3, obviously, Louis VI is a cousin, Henry III, King Edward I, Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen Consort today in the UK, Sir Winston Churchill, the King of the UK today, Princess Diana, Princess Harry, Sarah Ferguson, all of them. But there's Charles V, Henry VIII, they're cousins. Same way with Mary Stuart. So this is, here's Elizabeth I, and there's Mary Stuart. So this person has 4 of the 7 kings that he's directly linked to as a child, a grandchild, and 3 of them that are cousins. Then we go to Lee Harvey Oswald. He is not as, he's the least royal of all 3, right? He's only got 5 presidents, 11 signers of the Declaration of Independence, and 1 first lady. But they are all direct descendants. They're not cousins. They're not whatevers. And there's like 20. There's only 25 people on this list. It's a very short list. Of course, this list is not accurate. There are millions of more people related to this guy. I've traced him back to, it was either Edward I or Henry VIII as a direct descendant. Okay, whether he goes back more, he probably does. I haven't really investigated Lee Harvey Oswald that much. He probably does lead back to one of the 7 kings as a direct descendant. I haven't found it yet because I haven't looked really. But let's look at the, look at this. It's got all these presidents, James Madison, the signer, directly, General Lee, all the same people. All these people on this list are mega royals, all of them. Okay? So let's look at this one. This is Lee Harvey Oswald and the second 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt. Joseph Oswald and Anna Carter are where they link up. They have the same grandfather. Not only do they share the royal people, but also this Joseph Oswald, Anna Carter. How about this president here? Or no, this is Eleanor Roosevelt, First Lady to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Look at the same name. Joseph Oswald, Anna Carter. They have a same grandparent. Not just a royalty, but see, that's a node. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this other node. This is the signer of a Declaration of Independence